When you first saw a guy shoot up his dick, what was that like?
Ah! Ah!
This is Hanging with Nathan, and this is
Charlie Valentine.
All right. So, guys, we are going to cook for her seared sesame seed ahi tuna with soba noodles and some shit.
Delicious. I love shit.
Fuck yeah. So hot. So hot. So wait, when did you get in? Because you got in
Last summer, the beginning of August. August 1st was my official introduction into the industry.
So I remember thinking they told me that you were brand new at the time, and I was like, Jesus, really?
Yes.
You were fucking awesome.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. We had a lot of fun. That's actually one of my favorite scenes. You're excellent. So it's easy when you have someone who obviously knows what they're doing and you just try to fall in sync with them.
Yeah.
Try not to fuck up what they're doing. Try to add to it.
How is the expectations from when you first started to now? Did you have a lot more like, oh my god, this is awesome, and then since then have you had the good and bad days?
Yes, there's definitely good and bad days overall. I mean, it's much like any job in which there's ebb and flows. I just actually think that the highs outweigh a lot of the lows in comparison to other jobs. Just the personal freedom, the personal time, and the experiences that I get don't really compare otherwise. But I mean, it's strange. It's like you're supposed to take this intimate, vulnerable thing and you're supposed to not feel intimate and vulnerable about it. I mean, on the uphand, I feel like I could be naked anywhere in front of anyone at any time and not feel self-conscious. I'll say that. Not that I should be naked anywhere all the time, but if I had to.
You should be naked. You have a great body, and more people should see it.
Well, it takes a cursory, simple Google search and they can.
What did you do before you got into the lovely world of pornography?
For about 5 years, I was a copywriter, and then for another 5 years, I wore many hats for an online retailer. I was a stylist, a set and prop designer, and also a producer on occasion. So yeah, and now I just kind of feel like I don't kind of feel like, I know I'm still in production. I just play a very different role.
You're the star now, baby. And what made you transition? Was it COVID or?
So basically, yeah, I mean, that had a lot to do with it. I had cams on the side for about 2 years while I was still working as a set and prop designer. I loved it so much, that I continued to do it. And then eventually, post-lockdown, an agent reached out to me, seeing me post stuff to promote my camming, and asked if I wanted to get into porn. And I never really thought about it before, but I definitely ended up being like, why wouldn't I do that? I was no longer working my set and prop design job, and so I don't know, I just saw the prospect and I said, you know what, I want to change how I live my life. I want to have all the freaky deaky sexual experiences I can before I die in a safe environment. And yeah, there's just so many things that I love about the industry and that I love about sex work, and I respect it, and I feel good working in an industry that I kind of fundamentally get behind,
So, did you go to college for any of the stuff you did?
So I did go to college for a few years. I was probably about a year and a half shy of graduating, but eventually I learned that college is a scam. Pretty pointless. I was actually originally going to teach art history at the collegiate level. The more I personally got into college, the more I wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I just, I guess, okay, like one example, I switched schools a lot. And credits not transferring is a load of horse shit. It is literally just a way to put more money out of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, why, if you were taught at one, institution, just basic math, just things like that, like how would that not transfer somewhere?
It doesn't?
Well, it depends on the colleges. It's not like, this isn't like a blanket rule all across the board, and that's why it's that much more confusing.
Yeah.
You won't know until you have your specific college versus another college, like what they will and will not transfer. It's very arbitrary, and that's the whole reason where it's just one of those examples that I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. So it's like, if your math credit doesn't transfer to this college, you have to pay and take it again, you know? So it's just literally...
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So it's just a small example of why I was like, this is all entirely a scam. And then, like I said, I had a decade-long creative career without a degree. You don't need them. You just need the hustle.
God, you look great for 35.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Thank you. As my, like... I love busting that out because everyone's like, what? Really?
Yeah.
And even me, when I like sit there and I think about the numbers, I'm like, wow, 5 years shy of 40? Like, what? But, youthful at heart.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can still kind of play a hot younger person, but I have my wits about me as an adult on set. You know, and then as I actually start to look more like the MILF that they want to categorize me as, you know, that will just kind of be a second phase of my career.
You don't truly understand how much you appreciate a good stripper or a good lap dance until you're watching it and they're hitting the music at the right piece and everything.
It's so athletic, like, people don't understand, and that's kind of the beauty of women a lot of the time. They make difficult things look very simple. Yeah. Right?
Whereas men will usually make hard things look hard so you can't fucking do it. Pussy.
Here you go. Yes.
When you first saw a guy shoot up his dick, what was that like?
Traumatizing because I don't like needles.
No. It's worse when you inject yourself the first time.
I can only imagine it.
Go watch the episode on YouTube, guys. There's a whole story about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I put a whole story about it, just like about me injecting my dick. It's terrible.
You can't control, like, your dick. I don't know. I was scared
15
for
hours.
him. Ah! Ah! Ah!
It was till 4 in the morning. I took it at 2.
No!
Yeah. No, feels.
So, did you try to fuck it away over the course of
I tried doing a lot of things. Are you an anime person?
Yes.
Cool.
It started when I was young. Some things never die. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I'm not judging you.
Did you just call me a fucking nerd?
I did. No, what is that? What is a dwee or
weebo?
Weebo.
Weeaboo. That's the term. What's great about anime is a lot of times it's more existentially and philosophically informed, and then it's also like a shit ton hornier. Anything
that you like really want to do when you got into porn, fantasy-wise, and then you realized this is a terrible suggestion.
So I will kind of like agree with you that I like thought that I wanted to do like more group sex activities, and I still do, but you just don't really understand. I mean, in even in like a personal setting, there's just so much to contend with. Physically, but also mentally. And then on set, it's like, it's the same thing, but you have to be performative and be aware of not only thinking about everyone's feelings, everyone's body parts, you have to like make sure it looks good.
Okay.
Delicious.
I'm not sure how I feel about that at all.
I don't think it's very tasty. You hate it? I like the texture of the seeds very much.
So how long do you think you're gonna do this for?
I'm thinking somewhere between like maybe 5 to 10 years, and so I'm hoping over the course of that time, like, you know, I can have the funds and the extra time to go start like traveling to collect inventory.
Okay.
Because I've always loved thrifting and antiquing, and yeah.
I think this is more of a 90s look compared to this one, if we're talking about.
Yes, more of a floret.
Those noodles are great.
You know, I think more noodles need to be different colors.
So we can finish the rest of this. Why don't you tell everyone they can find you and all the stuff and what's new coming up in your future.
So on Instagram, you can find me at _ Charlie Valentine or Charlie Valentine __. And then on Twitter, I am Club Charlie XXX.
But guys, thank you again for coming in so much and watching another episode of Hanging with Nathan. To all my Twitch people, thank you for sticking it out with me. I think we're getting close to figuring this shit out. It's only been 6 months. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes. We're going to try as best we can to have more episodes coming soon. Stay tuned.